What is up guys, Jeremy Kid here of Social Vignerons. Welcome back to another wine video. I've got something really special for you today. We are going to be digging into the crafting of fine, traditional method sparkling wines, French bubblies. Yes, it is not very well known outside of France, but Burgundy, arguably the region in France that produces the finest of all wines, and yes, one of the most prestigious of all wine regions in the world. Well, beyond the illustrious still Chardonnays and Pinot Noirs, Burgundy also produces very fine sparkling wines using those same grape varieties and using the méthode traditionnelle, or the traditional method, which is fermenting the wines inside the bottles and aging those wines on the lees, on the yeast sediments, to give them more richness. That same winemaking process that is used in Champagne, which is essentially the best way to produce fine and refined bubbles and refined bubblies. So in Burgundy, those wines come under the name of Crémant de Bourgogne, or Burgundy Crémants. Essentially, these Crémant wines can be a great option when you're looking for fine, sparkling wines because, well, first of all, they're French, and I guess, being French myself, I believe that, when it's French, it's got this little je ne sais quoi, but anyway, they're made by knowledgeable people who know the French tradition and also have been making them for a very long time, because also they are made from prestigious terroirs in Burgundy, and because essentially you don't pay for the name Champagne on the label, yet you can get excellent and fantastic quality wines. So today I'm particularly excited to introduce you to these wines that are made by a house that is called Louis Bouillot. This is a Maison of Burgundy, a Burgundy house that was founded back in 1877 and that's been essentially making sparkling wines for many decades, if not centuries. So Louis Bouillot is based in Nuits Saint-Georges, so we are in the heart of the prestigious terroirs of the Côte d'Or in Burgundy, near the city of Beaune, near Vosne-Romanée, and all these prestigious terroirs beyond. The house's savoir-faire or know-how, because they've been making wine and bubblies for so long. What's great about Louis Bouillot is that they also make 20 different cuvées of sparkling wine, all with their individual identity, which is really great to learn about wine. They make wines from different grapes, from different terroirs, from different vintages. So I've partnered with Louis Bouillot to make you discover these wines and allow us in the process to learn more about these various lesser known aspects of the crafting of sparkling wine. So today I'm going to be tasting wines made from different types of grapes, white grapes, red grapes, a blend of everything. Also, which is going to give us an opportunity to sense the influence of Chardonnay, of Pinot Noir and other grapes that are used to make these wines on the crafting of sparkling wines. So let's dig into these wines. The first wine that I'm going to be reviewing here is called Perle d'Ivoire, which is translates into ivory pearl, and this is a Blanc de Blanc, meaning this wine has been crafted only with white grapes. So obviously you probably know by now that many sparkling wines are made using a blend of red grapes and white grapes. This Blanc de Blanc in particular is made only with Chardonnay and Aligoté wine. So the Chardonnay, we know the quality of Chardonnay, the opulence, the richness of Chardonnay. Aligoté is a traditional grape variety from Burgundy. It is used here, I believe, to add a bit of acidity, a bit of vivacity, a bit of zinginess to the wine. So let's dig into the Ivory Pearl by Louis Bouillot. Let's open this nice looking little bottle of wine. You can see that the packaging looks very classy with these golden touches, very French, classical French. Here you go. So Ivory Blanc de Blanc, Ivory Pearl Blanc de Blanc. I can smell already that this is a very delicate nose, a floral nose. It is quite bubbly, as you can tell. You can already see that the bubbles are rather fine just by looking at them. A nice shiny lemon yellow color, not a whole lot of golden color. So this has been aged for 18 months on its lees, so starting to get to that point where long aging on lees gives some refinement and density to the wines. Really elegant to smell at. It's got the little notes of white flower blossoms, a little bit of touches of lemon, a little bit of butter, a little bit of brioche. This is a really yummy, salivating white wine. It's crisp, it's got this zinginess that is characteristic from the Blanc de Blanc. So you have to know that the white grapes generally in sparkling wine give a bit of a tension on the palate and mineral acidity that drives all the palate, and it's definitely the case here. But it's also got this creamy, refined, fine bubbles and a bit of an oily texture. So the whole feels, you know, zingy in the center, but also oily and rounded. It's slightly delicate spices, a little bit of cinnamon, fresh and playful, refined, super fine bubble, elegant sparkling wine. And I love the zinginess of these white flower blossoms in the citrusy, lemony, limey character that shines through. So this is a wine for delicate appetizers and antipasti. You don't want to pair this with too powerful an entree, or Louis Bouillot suggests some soft cheese on toast, or it's perfect wine for sushi. Also, this would go really well with asparagus, simple asparagus on vinaigrette. You know how asparagus can be really difficult to pair with, but this is so elegant and refined. The delivery of aromas is so precise and shiny that I suspect this is going to be perfect with asparagus. But I can also see this on oysters. I'm enjoying the color, I'm enjoying the subtlety of this wine and the roundness and its creaminess. But let's dig into the Perle de Nuit, which translates into the night pearl. This is made only with red grapes, and in this case we are talking about Pinot Noir grapes with the addition of a little bit of Gamay, the grape that is known particularly from being grown in Beaujolais. And Gamay in this case is used to add a little bit of red grape density and a bit more pungent and bursting red fruit aromas to the wine. Let's dig into the Night Pearl Pinot Noir Gamay. So this is a Blanc de Noir, meaning this is not quite a rosé. This is a white wine, but made exclusively with red grapes. Although, as you can probably see, it does have a little hint of a delicate salmon pink color. In French, we say that a type of wine like this, that it's white, but has got a tiny bit of color from those red grapes. You know, we say that it is a wine that is taché or tainted. So it just has a little bit of these red pigments, a little bit of anthocyanins just coloring the wine, and I have to admit that this gives it a very, very delicate pinkish, slightly pinkish color, which is actually quite exciting. I'm a big fan of Blanc de Noir wines. A surprisingly delicate nose as well. I was expecting a big burst of red berry characters, rich red berry characters. It does have hints of a fresh strawberry, the touch of pomegranate. It smells really refined, and I can already sense a bit of a house style here, where the wines are really restrained. They're on the floral side of things with touches, really delicate touches of fruit to smell at least. Let's see what it tastes like. Again, plenty of zinginess, vibrant acidity, mineral acidity. There are a little bit more phenolics, which are the little tannins, because those come from red grapes. That makes you salivate, gives a delicate, velvety texture. Slightly bitterness to the finish, which I actually quite like, because it makes the wine a little bit more savory. Same zinginess, the same smooth, silky texture of the bubbles, explosion of grapefruit characters, and the pomegranate is a super elegant. So again, here we have a very, very elegant wine. Wow, I'm actually very surprised at how refined, how fine and how fresh these wines are. This has been aged for 24 months on its lees, so it's starting to get quite long on the lees, but the brioche comes through a little bit. It does have a little bit of a cookie character to it, so slightly toasted bread character to it. This Blanc de Noir is going to be perfect for pairing with elegant entrees and appetizers or the likes, but because it's got these delicate phenolics as well, I think it could go with entrees and dishes that are a little bit more flavorsome, like the prosciuttos, the fine charcuteries. It could also really pair extremely well with some sweet and sour combinations, some oriental combinations, and I think The producer suggests the tagines and chicken with dried and apricot raisins. So this sweet and sour combination, Asian dishes, pure expression of the fruit characters, some very floral, citrusy, a little bit of peachy on the Blanc de Blanc side, and a little bit more on the delicate red berries, the pomegranate, so slightly redder fruit characters here, but both are really opulent, precise, concise, extremely precise wines. Wow, I'm actually very, very happily surprised. But let's continue our exploration, and next up is a wine that is called the Perle de Vigne, which translates into the vine's pearl, and this is a blend of all those grapes, so Pinot Noir, Gamay, Chardonnay, and a touch of Aligoté, so 4 different grape varieties. And obviously here the objective, the aim is to combine those 2 types of wine to make more complete whole, perhaps, or a whole that is going to taste probably quite different. Wow, again you can see that the color here is a little bit really in between the other 2. The wine throws again very delicate aromas on the nose, but it feels a little bit riper, a little bit richer. You get some rich lemon, but rather than the blossom or the lemon blossoms in the zingy lemon, this is more of a riper lemon, like a lemon liqueur, like a limoncello liqueur sort of nose. There's a bit of apricot, a bit of white peach, juicy white peach, so this feels a little bit richer, a little bit rounder, a little bit more opulent to smell at. Let's dig into what it tastes like. Yeah, so again, these super fine bubbles that just coat your palate with this creamy, delicious creamy texture, a little bit of zinginess, but this is certainly a perfected blend with a fantastic balance and harmony on the palate. The texture is so fine, so silky, so smooth on the palate, and the flavors are somewhat really delicate, and they feel completely whole, so you get this really juicy white peach character with a bit of an orangey, orange blossom, orange liqueur type of expression on the palate. So this feels ripe, this feels rich. The zinginess, the opulent vibrance of the white grapes, the richness and the precision of the red grapes. Here everything is combined and everything kind of comes together to form a perfect balance of a wine. So I can see why they call this wine the Grande Réserve, because it feels more complete, essentially. Pair it with elegant aperitifs, but also I would think that you could go with, you know, grilled fish and grilled vegetables and any type of seafood, the creamy seafood entrees or any type of seafood dish. Pair all along a meal, a refined meal, gastronomic meal, restaurant quality type of meal. This is going to be a very versatile wine, also a wine that you can spend time analyzing and enjoying by itself, because the balance here is just really remarkable. But let's move on to our last wine, which is going to be a rosé wine that is called Perle d'Aurore, which translates into the Pearl of Dawn. Rosé wine that combines, well, obviously red grapes and white grapes in a slightly different styles. In a rosé wine where they do allow a bit of skin contact between the skin of the grapes, which contain the color, and the juice before they press the wine, which allows to extract a little bit of color, a bit of a more pinky or frankly pink or pinkish color. And let's find out what the color of this wine looks like before I talk too much about it. Yeah, look at this. Definitely a pale, well, quite rather frank salmon pink color, quite delightful. So salmon, typical salmon pink color, but with some orange hues to it. Ooh, so we are here with a bit more of an openly red berry aromas type of aromatic profile. Certainly some more vibrant raspberries. The strawberry here is a little bit riper than in the previous one. Wow, this is a very opulent wine. There's an explosion of a strawberry and raspberry. It's super fresh and vibrant. It almost feels like a bit of the blueberry juice type of expression on the aromatic profile, yet it's got a refinement. Again, the same fine bubbles. I think they've gone with a shorter aging on lees, 12 months only, really to retain the freshness of the fruit expression. 12 months on lees just to round up and mellow the bubbles and refine the product, but they've really gone for the crisp expression of those red berries and those red grapes. So this is a blend of Chardonnay with Pinot Noir and a touch of Gamay, and you can definitely sense perhaps the influence of the Gamay and certainly the Pinot Noir through all these explosive red berry characters. Yeah, it does have a bit of a expression of a red wine into it, but you know, the subtle light red wines like we love from the Pinot Noirs, this delicate red berry expression. It's got a little bit of earthiness that we also, and forest floor that we expect and that we love from the Pinot Noir, a bit of grapefruity, so there's an awful lot going on. Obviously this is going to be fantastic for, you know, cocktail parties, you know, before a meal, because everyone's going to love this type of wine. It's dry, but it's, you know, elegant, opulent, it's soft, it's, you know, everyone would just love this type of wine. But it's also going to be a wine because it's got more flavors. It's also going to be able to go with the dessert. You know, I wouldn't necessarily recommend with desserts the other wines because they're really elegant, but this is definitely more going to be able to go with a dessert, you know, a fruit dessert, fruit cake. That's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching this video and thanks for supporting this channel, and I will see you soon in the wonderful world of wine. Cheers. Santé. Salut.